it's sometimes very difficult. And Lorraine just came to the community just a few weeks ago, a few months ago, and tells my wife all the time, what do you need? What can I do for you guys? And it's amazing. You're really an amazing family. You're amazing people. We only wish you the best. It's just on the side. There's Aramaic words written by Onkelos. The Talmud teaches us in Tractate Megillah. It was written by Ruach HaKodesh. And this is something that actually is a halakha that the person should read Onkelos every week. It's the translation of the Torah, but it's not only translation, it gives us insight to every single parasha of the week. Onkelos happens to be a convert. He's a convert into Judaism, and he was the nephew of the Emperor of Rome. It's an unbelievable story. The Talmud teaches us. Onkelos was the nephew of the Emperor of Rome, and he went and traveled the world, and he came to the land of Israel, and there in the land of Israel, he got into Judaism. Must have met some fanatic rabbis over there, or something like that. Got him into a yeshiva, one of these hardcore yeshiva, the black hat yeshivas, that this is it. But he loved it, and we all know the end of the story. He became Onkelos, and we all read his Torah till this very day. His uncle, the Emperor of Rome, sent a group of soldiers to get him back to Rome, because it was very embarrassing. At that time, the Romans and the Jews, it wasn't so easy together. We suffered a lot from them. And he promised his nephew, just come back to Rome, and I'll give you everything. I'll make you famous, I'll make you rich, I'll make you powerful, whatever you need. He sent a group of soldiers, and they came into his house, and Onkelos persuades them, no, Judaism is the real thing. What does he tell them? He says, tell me, when the king of Rome walks in the streets in the night of Rome, there's no electricity in those days, don't forget. Who carries the light for them, for the king, to show him the path and the way? He said, what do you mean? The king doesn't carry his own torch. It's the servants that carry it for the soldiers, and the soldiers for the ministers, until it reaches the king, and the king is in front. So Onkelos says, that's not the way of our God. The God of the world, he carries the light for us. Like it says in the Pasuk, that Bnei Yisrael went in the desert, and in the night there was a flame of fire. Amud esh, olech lefnehem balayla. A pillar of fire goes. God showed us the way, and he was in front of us, and we're the servants. But God is standing for us and showing us the path and giving us the light. So, believe it or not, he persuaded them, he studied with them, and they all converted to Judaism. Must be conversion in those days didn't take 5 years. It took basically maybe an hour or two. But he converted them. That's what he did. The king of Rome was even more mad. He sent another group of soldiers. And he said, listen, do me a favor, my nephew's become crazy. Don't let him brainwash you. Just don't even enter his home. Just stand outside his house. Because once you enter his home, you know what happens when you enter a rabbi's home? He's gonna get you. Just stand, be firm, be strong, just stand up. No problem. We're strong soldiers. They go, travel to Israel, they say, knock on the door, Mr. Onkelos, come back. Your uncle wants to give you all the power of the world. What are you doing over here? What's the matter with you? And he says, please come inside. I'll give you some tea. No. We know your tricks. We're not even entering a foot in your house. He says, okay. So Onkelos puts his hand on the mezuzah, and he kisses the mezuzah outside his house. And they say to him, well, what is that? Oh, you don't know what that is? Whoa, let me explain you what it is. And he gets them outside. He became smart. He says, no problem. And he tells them, listen, who looks after my uncle, the king of Rome, when he's inside the palace? He goes, what do you mean? There's soldiers, there's guards. Never been to Buckingham Palace before, you can't get in. You can't get into the palace. There's so much security outside. And your uncle's in there, safe, sound, nobody's going to touch him. He says, let me tell you, in every mezuzah, in every Jewish home, this is called a mezuzah, has the name of God, Shin, Dalet, and Yud. Shin, Dalet, Yud is the abbreviation of the word Shomer Daltot Israel. The God of the Jews. He's our king, and we're his servants. We're inside the home. He's outside, and he's guarding us and protecting us. Oh, really? Who's this guy? And believe it or not, he got them in. That was the end of the story. His uncle gave him that the light he was talking about, the first parable he was telling the soldiers, that God shows the flame before us. He was referring to the light of Chanuka. He was telling them about Chanuka. And the second one was the mezuzah. Onkelos was telling them a message. He's saying, you can't get me to go back to Rome. You think that I was brainwashed to be a Jew? You think I'm a Jew because somebody brainwashed? No. You can only get me back if, all the money in the world can never get me back to go to be back to my old ways, my old religion. I'm not just a Jew, I'm proud to be a Jew. And he gave those two examples. These are the only two mitzvot that we do, that we publicize that we are Jewish. We publicize the mitzvah. It's a very rare thing. There's nowhere in the Torah that says you got to publicize you're a Jew. But when it comes to Chanukah, Hachamim teach us that we got to put the Chanukiah by the window. So everybody walking past knows this is a house, a Jewish house. We don't see this in any other mitzvah. We got to put it by the window, or by the door, or by the window, not somewhere hiding in the back in the kitchen or in one of the bedrooms. The mitzvah is to publicize that you're a Jew. Mezuzah, the same thing. It's amazing, you know. You came here 10 years ago, and I'm coming to 90210 Beverly Hills. I'm walking down Rodeo Drive where all the shops are. I said to Dina, let's go and take a drive, and I'm going to all these houses. I'm driving down, seeing all the mansions. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe. You know, and as a kid, you watch 90210 Beverly Hills, you watch all the shows. And this is so famous, and you see in every second house there has a mezuzah. I mean, it's simple now, but that's amazing that every Jew, secular, religious, reform, whatever it is, they're proud. They put the mezuzah outside. We don't find this anywhere else in other religions in the world. You can know where a Jew lives anywhere in the world. Just look, where is their mezuzah? And this is really what he was trying to tell them. You can't persuade me to come back because I'm proud of who I am. That's why he gave these two examples. This is what Chanukah is all about. The Greek Syrians, what did they want to do to us in Chanukah? They didn't want to kill us physically. They wanted to kill us spiritually. They wanted to take our soul away, our neshama away. That's what they wanted to do to us. You could live, be in the land of Israel, no problem, but don't study Torah. Don't keep Shabbat. Don't do Brit Milah. This is what they wanted to take. They wanted to take our heart, our soul, away from Torah, from who we are. This is what they wanted from us. That's why Chanukah is so special. When we light the Chanukiah every night, when you hear light the Chanukiah with your family, you get the children around, and you tell your children, why are we lighting this? Of course, ask the kids in school, what's Chanukah about? They tell you to get presents and gifts. So proud of our heritage. When we stand by the light, the flame, Chanukah, the difference between Purim and Chanukah. Purim, we celebrate, everything's about food. The Seudah, the Shlachma, everything. Chanukah is all about the light. The light is spirituality. We're celebrating that we have won the war against the Greeks. The Greek philosophy was all about the physical, the outside, the looks. That's what it's about. And Judaism is not only about the looks and the physical, but it's about the spiritual. And that's what they wanted to take away from us. They didn't want that. They said no. Eat, live, because we're going to die tomorrow. Forget about spirituality. That's what they wanted to take away from us. That's our heart. That's what the Jews are all about. Today, this is what we have today. We live in Baruch Hashem, in America, in Los Angeles, in Beverly Hills. Beverly was the same thing. And this is one of the big, big issues and challenges that we're dealing with, especially to bring up our kids over here. Because everything is about how do you look, what suit you're wearing, what handbag you're coming with, what shoes you're getting. And it's important. Obviously, the Torah says you have to look beautiful. It's very important. But is that the most important thing? Is that what we're teaching our children? The street is teaching our children this. All the magazines are teaching our children this. Everything is paparazzi, what's happening. It's all about who's in, who's married to who's divorced to, who's pregnant, who's not. This is all what's going on here. You see just what happened recently now with in England with Kate. It's unbelievable. It's a crazy story. Can you believe it? She's pregnant. The whole world has to know. What's going on? Hollywood doesn't mean here. Hollywood is the whole world. It's amazing. Look what happened to the nurse in the hospital. She committed suicide because of this story. This is all because of the life that we live in. It's all about the outside, about the physical. And there's no meaning, there's no spiritual. Judaism offers to us. Chanukah is the inside, the spirituality, the children, the home. We put first emphasis on our home and our children. That's what Torah and Judaism teaches us. When we light the Ner Chanukah every single night, our Savior, don't just light it and eat dinner, but to look at that Ner, especially for the women. especially for the ladies, it's connected to Ner Shabbat, the candles of Shabbat, and the candles of Hanukkah. It's the same idea. It's all that light, it's the spirituality that only a woman can give into a house.
I have a question regarding that.
Afterwards, 1 second. No problem, man. Just our sages teach us something amazing. If you look at all of the Talmud, you look at the Chachamim in the Talmud, they call their wives Beiti, my house. They don't say Ishti. They call it Beiti. Why? Because the woman in the house represents the education of the child. When you see good children, this is what the Talmud teaches us. We look at the mother, and we say this comes from the mother. When God told Moshe Rabbeinu to teach Torah to the Jewish people, He said to them, Tomar lebet Yaakov v'taged lebnei Yisrael. Bet Yaakov refers to the women, Bnei Yisrael refers to the men. But look at the change of language. Tomar, Bet Yaakov, and Taged. Tomar, Amira, in Lashon HaKodesh, is a soft language. Vayomer is soft. Vayaged is a harsh language. Hashem said to Moshe, when you teach Torah to the women, be soft with them. They have to learn Torah in a soft way, in a kind way. They have to learn Torah with the neshama, because that's who they are. When you teach Torah to the men, beat them up. Take the old school. Take your ruler, take your cane. Like in my days, boom. And when you're not listening, oh boy, did I get it. Did I get it? I think they took it literally. They used to beat us up when I was a kid. Today we don't do this. Baruch Hashem. Why is that? Because the women are the future of the education of our children. Everything the child gets from the home comes from the mother. The father, okay, he comes home. As soon as the child comes home, the mother hugs the child, gives that warmth. That warmth that a mother can give to a child from a young age, can never get it from a father. The father gives him warmth, but in a different way. A young child needs the warmth of the mother. Nothing like a mother. Nothing like a ima. Right? Like they say in Yiddish, a mama. Right?
Yeah.
Nicht also wie a mama. Das is the, right? Right? What's the expression in Yiddish? A Yiddish mama. A Yiddish mama. That's something that only a mother can give. And this is something that Chanukah is going to teach us.